Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sunny Side. I'm Sunny, and right here, right now, I'm going to tell you guys all about Venus and Scorpio. First things first, those who don't know, I'm a professional astrologer and I do write the horoscopes for some of the newspapers up here in Canada. And if you want a personal reading, just check it out in the description box below. Also, this is a video and it's going to be in a couple of different sections. So the first bit, I'm going to give you a little blah blah about what's happening here on the channel. Then I'm going to tell you guys about what I think about Venus and Scorpio. And then I'm going to read you guys some different interpretations of some other, noteworthy astrologers and what they say about Venus and Scorpio. And that's the action. I hope everybody's cool with it. And that's the action. Let's get down to it. All right. So once again, I'm a professional astrologer. I do write the horoscopes up here. And every day on the channel, let's see, I'll put this forward. Every day on the channel, we have Breakfast with Sonny here. So please subscribe to the channel. Please give the video a bloop, a thumbs up. And every morning I do your horoscopes and I read them live too. And if you want to take part in any of that, by all means, please tune into the channel and take part in all of that. And if you drop by, please say what's up. In addition to all of that, this is our website here. This is TheSunnySide.net. And I've had this website for a long time now. And it changes all the time. And this is where you go if you want your astrology report, if you want your natal report or your compatibility report or relocation report, or a progress report. For those who don't know, your chart changes as you mature in life, and because obviously this should be obvious to some of you, but the person you are when you're born is not the person you are when you're 30 years old or 45 or 70 years old. Your chart changes, and that's called they're progressions, and it's a different report. It's your progress report. In addition to all of that, just to let you guys know, in addition to being a professional astrologer, is a very, very popular hypnotist. Oh, Astrology Summit. That's the wrong thing. I hosted the Astrology Summit a long time ago, and where I interviewed a whole bunch of different astrologers, and some of that stuff's here as well. I might take it down. It's been a while, and some of those astrologers are no longer with us. Some really notable ones have passed away. Anyways, along the way, I created this book, Emotional Weight Loss, to help with whatever. If you're into any of this kind of stuff, just check it out. I'm going blah blah. I'm a little tired today. It's been a long day. Anyways, one of my books is for sale now on Amazon. If you're interested, by all means, go check it out. It's about emotional eating. If you're eating while you're watching this video, you probably got the problem, and if you need a little bit help, just check it out. There's more blah blah if you want, and we'll do it. Just turn into the channel. Anyways, we also have the well, man, I'm just not in the groove today. I gotta say, hopefully I'll get into the groove when I do the Venus and Scorpio thing. So, anyways, this is our store. This is how you help support the channel. So in addition, you can go to TheSunnySide.net if you want to, your astrology readings, if you want to support the channel. This is our store here. We have Astro leggings. This is SLC. My wife created all of these shirts and designs. They come in different colors. This is the one she made about cancers. It's really cute. She's a Cancer. They do come in different colors. They're really cute. They're also t-shirts and cups and what have you. Anyways, that's at theastroside.net. There's a link in the description box below. And on some of the videos, YouTube's going to put it directly below all of that. All right, let's get down to the action here. Hopefully I'll get some steam as we go along. So this is Scorpio. So this is Scorpio over here in the chart. And that's Venus right there. Now, for those who don't know, there are a couple of different things in the on an astrology chart. We have the houses right here. Those are the numbers, and these pi sections. You might want to call them pi sections or whatever. and so they're the numbers. That's where in your life something is going to happen. So if something is in the first house, it's going to happen to you directly. If it's in your seventh house, it's going to happen to you as a partner, your partner. Or you as a partnership, or you as a team. And there are a couple of ways of looking at it, because there's a lot on this chart, and there are deeper interpretations, and it's not that easy. It's not it's not as simple as a YouTube video, but it's also not that it's not that difficult. But it is it's not that difficult, but it is more involved than just a simple thing. Anyway, so the houses are right there, and then that's one thing. Then we have the planets. The individual planets provide a different type of energy, and it means something different is going to happen to that particular area of your chart. And finally, we have the sign on the outside, which is what everybody's most familiar with. Now, the reason that's important is because sometimes in astrology, because professional astrologers are writing horoscopes. Well, I don't know if they write horoscopes every day. I write horoscopes every day. So if you're writing horoscopes every day, or you're looking at charts every day, you're going to in an effort to get creative, like look at this. The planets just don't move that much every day. One day, next day, next day, next day. They're not really moving that much. And so, like, what the hell? Yeah, like, seriously. And so there's not that, sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. And when you're doing that and you're reading so many charts, doing so many interpretations or predictions, what happens is, we're trying to get creative and find new ways to express things. And sometimes we mix the definitions and the energies of the planets, how we describe it, with the house. And very often people just confuse the sign with the house. And you'll hear that when I start to read in a couple minutes what the professional astrologers said, what the other, some of the more noteworthy astrologers throughout time have said, or, modern astrologers, what they've said, you'll find that you can see that some of them are confusing the sign and the house. But then again, sometimes there are similarities, sometimes there are differences. And I'll explain to you right now. Venus is the planet that we normally associate with attraction and rapport. Now, rapport goes both ways. It's what you attract. So wherever Venus is in your chart, that's where you're going to attract money. It's the type of person you're supposed to attract, and it's where you're going to attract your money. Doesn't mean that's what you're going to do for a living. Maybe yes, maybe no. The moon tends to be what you want to do. So some people are lucky enough to do what they want to do for a living. But sometimes what you want to do is not where the money is. And so those are things you got to keep in mind. And so those are things you keep in mind. Anyways, this is where you attract love and you attract money, depending on where it is in your chart. But it's active attraction. It's also rapport. It's how you kind of want others to feel. It's how you do unto others as you do unto others to you. Not every planet means that. Not every part of the chart means that. By no means in any way should you live on your life like that. I'm not saying to. I'm just saying planet Venus is doing, it's you do unto others how you want others to do unto you is Venus. And when it's in Scorpio, it does it in a very Scorpio kind of way. Everybody cool? Now, let's do another thing. Venus is in, we'll go quickly burn through some of the houses here to explain the differences. If Venus was in the first house, Venus is the planet of love and attracting love and money and being beautiful and being cool and hey, what's up, player? And so if Venus is in the first house, you're going to look good. You're going to be aesthetically pleasing. People are going to like you. Next, I'll just make this fast. If Venus is in the second house, you're going to attract money. You're going to want to control people with money. If Venus is in the third house, you're going to have a silver tongue in your mouth. That means you're going to talk like this. Not really. Venus in the third house, it means good communication, good transportations. If I'm writing the horoscopes, I might say you might get a new car, you might get a new computer or cell phone or something. Venus in the fourth house means good things happening to your family. You might make money in real estate. Venus in the fifth house means you might get pregnant, good things with kids. You might work with kids. You might make money through kids. You might own a daycare. Venus in the sixth house. Now, it's not Venus, wherever it is, doesn't always mean good things. Venus in the sixth house can make you lazy. Venus in the sixth house can make you bored. It brings a lot of ease and chill and good stuff to your sixth house, which is your everyday stuff. So Venus in the sixth house can make you bored. Your life is too easy. Nothing's going on. But this is also your health. So Venus in the sixth house can indicate, health. You're going to go to the gym. So, or you might attract someone at the gym. It also means you might end up dating someone that you meet at the gym or someone you see every day, or you might date someone you work with. There are other ways to look at it, but other places for that phrase. Now, Scorpio, look, seventh house is partnerships. Venus is in the seventh house, you marry rich. Not a big deal. Okay, or you marry someone who's really good looking. Venus in the eighth house, this is what we're going to talk about today, and this is what a lot of the astrologers are going to talk about. The eighth house has to do with the money you make with other people. Now, when people think of the sign of Scorpio, they sure don't think about joint finances. They think about someone who's possessive, someone who's jealous, someone who's has all the negative qualities of Taurus is Scorpio. Right? Scorpio's jealous, Scorpio's possessive, Scorpio likes to yell at you, Scorpio is always pissed off. These guys walking with pine cones up their butts. This is like, they sit there and go, they're like Virgo is the sign that says I told you so. Scorpio is like, I was gonna tell you to, like, Scorpio's not even gonna tell you. They're gonna have a grudge against you and think, oh, you're too stupid, I'm not even gonna tell you. You're so stupid, you don't even know. You don't care enough to know. Anyways, it's not really the point. There's more to it. The 8th house is joint finances. So if you have Venus in the 8th house, that would indicate winning a legal battle. It would indicate money for alimony, or child support. Someone giving you money for someone else. Child support. Again, it's teamwork, it's joint finances. Look at it like this. This is who you are. 1, the first house, how you look, your ego. The second house is your money. Your money. This is your committed relationship. This is what you do every day. This are the people you do it with every day. And this is the karma or the result of things happening every day. So if you do a good job in your relationships, good things are going to happen here. So this is the result of this. And in one of the, it's the material and emotional and spiritual consequences of your actions in the 7th house. And so Venus is here, it's going to bring things over here. And anyways, so be prepared to hear a lot of 8th house stuff. Now, on top of that, we're here today to talk about Scorpio. So what's the deal with Scorpio? Scorpio is one of the most spiritual signs. They're not like, ooh, I talk to my God in my own kind of way, and I don't care what anybody says because I'm a Pisces and I'm the most. I live all of my life in the water, and you don't know what it feels like to be a fish. So, okay, whatever. Or not spiritual in the Sagittarius kind of way. The divine is always going to take care of me. I can do whatever I want because I'm so lucky. I can do it in a don't matter kind of way. I'm going to jump off this bridge without a parachute because why not? I'm a Sagittarius and that's what I do. And life's all about doing things. Don't hold me back. Don't me. And not that kind of spiritual either. Not the kind of spiritual. Okay, enough. Scorpio is a very it's on the side of the axis. Libra is the sign of we. Right? So Libra, this section is we. So obviously over here, this is going to be about trying to create a deeper spiritual bond with someone. So there are other things to it. Scorpio is one of the signs of sexuality. So Venus in Scorpio is going to attract, well, what's Scorpio known for? And you're also going to bond with someone in this way. So Scorpio is not just about having raw sex. That's like, you'd kind of want someone Sagittarius. If you just want to have raw sex, you'd probably want someone who's half goat. No, not half goat. Unless you want to have sex with a goat. I don't know why you would want to do that. But you want to have sex with a horse, right? Isn't that what people want to have sex with? So half horse, not a full horse, because a full horse kiss is funny. They're like, you don't really want to have sex with a full horse. Just a half horse. Just the bottom half of a horse. And that's Sagittarius. Guys got it? Did I digress? Just saying. Anyways, Scorpio is more about bonding in a spiritual way. It's taking things to the underworld and is bringing them back out. All right, maybe we should lay off Sonny's interpretation of this and get to what the other people say. Anyways, Venus in Scorpio, or what's really funny? You should watch the video on fast forward. That's really funny. Sonny, whatever. Focus, man. Okay, so Venus and Scorpio, these kind of people tend to want to bond spiritually with their partner, spiritually and sexually with their partner. That's the deal here. Taurus, it's the opposite sign of Taurus. Taurus is I have. Scorpio is have, right? Possessive. I have. Or Taurus is my money, my stuff. Venus and Taurus, you are my stuff. Venus and Scorpio, that's over here. We have. Scorpio's, what's what Scorpios, we share it all. Scorpio is a very sharing sign. It's a very inclusionary kind of thing. Taurus possesses you. Scorpio wants to control you. It's a little bit different. So, although I kind of missed the point there. Scorpio is our stuff, right? So when it all belongs. So Scorpio is what's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. Taurus is what's mine is mine. What yours is mine, and like it's all mine. Scorpio's not. Scorpio's what's mine is yours. Here, take this. My door is always open. And what's yours, let's share it all together. So what does that mean? Scorpio is a very giving sign, but they also expect you to give in return. And so that's what they expect in relationships. That's the underlying principle of Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio. What's mine is yours. I'm going to give it all to you. People give it all to you. Scorpio is the most giving sign. But at the same time, they expect the most out of any sign. They're one of the deepest, they're one of the most powerful signs. They have the power. Oftentimes in astrology it says Scorpio Capricorn wants the power. They're an ambitious sign working towards the power. Scorpio has the power. But it's a very dark kind of power. Anyways, so I'll say it again. Scorpios, we have, and they want to share it with you. They want to share their experiences with you. They want to share their spirituality with you. They want to share their knowledge with you. They're also an arrogant sign, and they're also a grouchy sign, so watch out for that. They're also a dark sign, and they can easily go it alone, so watch out for that as well. But at the same time, as they appear, not necessarily that they really do, but as they appear to open themselves so much to you, they expect you to open themselves so much to them. And if they don't, Scorpio is going to get hurt. They're one of the most easily upset sign, and if you hurt a Scorpio, they're not going to forgive you. And that's just the way it is. It's not like a choice, right? They're a water sign. Water signs don't have choices in this matter. All right, so that's the deal. So Venus and Scorpio, they want to share everything with you. They want to share their experiences. They want to share what they do. They want to share. They want to just give everything to you. But in the same time, it's a team. So that's the deal. It's an extremely intense sign. All right. And by intense, I mean they yell at and scream and call people names when they're in a good mood. That's what I mean by intense. All right, what else is going on here? Scorpio is also one of the most stalked sign. More people watch my Scorpio videos, get more views than almost any other videos, and it's sure of ass not from Scorpios. It's really funny. All right, it's only funny because I'm a double Scorpio. Here we go. You guys ready? So that's the blah blah on the channel. Remember, go visit our store, theastroside.com, and check out some of SLC's designs. If you want to support the channel, then and if you want a reading, check out in the description box or visit our website. Here we go. And all of that's in there in the description box. Here we go. Babs Kirby and Janie Stubbs. That's what these guys said. Now, I edited some of this. Here on the SunnySide, if you watch the videos or if you turn into the live stream, you'll know that I try and dispel some of the myths. There's a lot of stereotypes out there. And some of the stereotypes are true. So I leave some of them in, but we try not to go overboard on the stereotypes and try and bring, some of the more realistic ways of looking at things. Anyways, natal Venus in Scorpio, Babs Kirby and Jane Stubbs, they say, Venus in Scorpio has a capacity to love deeply, though their intense feelings may be difficult to express. Yeah, Scorpios have trouble expressing themselves, unless they're like raging at you. At times, their love can lead them into painful emotional crises. With Venus in Scorpio, there'll be a tendency to go to the extremes in love relationships. In many ways, they thrive on crisis as they need the intensity it brings. What they cannot stand is bland nothingness. Oh, seriously. Scorpios, for a bunch of guys, they like to freak out pretty. They cause problems when there's no... Scorpios will rock the boat if they get bored. Scorpios, Venus and Scorpios are passionate people. And if a relationship has become humdrum, they will inject some passion into it by any means necessary. So watch out for that. Someone with Venus and Scorpio will tend to be possessive and jealous or attract partners who are. These people will sense if something is wrong in the relationships, and this may not be long before their partner has an inkling that all is not well with them. They may in fact make things go wrong in their own relationships by their insistence that the things do not feel right for them, as there has got to be something wrong. So, well, this is all interesting. Scorpio, remember, Scorpio is always in a state of tearing things down to make it stronger. They're constantly regenerating things, and part of regenerating things is tearing it down. So be careful. If things are normal with your Venus in Scorpio, if things are blah, 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 Scorpios want the intensity of like this, the going up like this, and if it's like this, they're going to tear it down to make it go like that. And so Scorpio needs to feel a rebirth happening, constant regeneration, constant expressions in their love, new and exciting things happening in their love. And while at the same time, Scorpio is a fixed sign, so they're kind of boring. It's a really weird experience with a Scorpio. And so Venus and Scorpio, keep that in mind. Scorpios are constantly tearing things down to rebuild them. Don't ever forget that, because that's one of the things. It says there's a general touchiness with Venus and Scorpio coupled with a suspicious nature. Their partners may feel accused and be expected to come up with some explanation for something beyond their comprehension. Oh yeah, Venus and Scorpio will accuse the shit out of you for no reason. Someone with Venus and Scorpio, someone with Venus and Scorpio can have a genuine sixth sense, but equally can be paranoid. Not as paranoid as a Venus in Pisces, I'd say, but they can be paranoid. Or paranoid, right? Paranoid. Okay. How well this works for these people will depend a great deal on whether they have other planets and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. The Venus in Scorpio's person's desires is strong. What? Okay. And there's a need to express love and affection through sexual intimacy and to merge at a profound level with their partner. There's an intense desire for soul contact, for, they want a spiritual merging, or a sexual merging. Venus and Scorpios, they bond with others sexually. I'll say it again. Venus and Scorpio, they want to bond with you sexually. I'm not saying Venus with Scorpio is a loose in the zipper sign, because if you want a casual encounter with a Venus and Scorpio, it's just not going to happen. If you have a one night stand with like a Sagittarius, fine. They're like, hey, what's up? Everything's cool. Or an Aquarius, they have there's friends first. But Venus and Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio will love you fast, like they'll know, like they're psychic, they'll know. And then, but if you shy away afterwards, they're not gonna be happy. Okay, love is always sexual for them, and they can take their partners to some deep and dark places in their search for the union they crave. People with Venus and Scorpio will be familiar with their own complex emotional states. Yes, Scorpio is one of the most authentic signs of the zodiac, and would be very accepting of yours. These are people who know only too well the shifting natures of human nature, and very little will shock them. And this is very acceptance on their part. They will allow you to share the darker recesses of your soul. Yes and no. They will, but they're super jealous. So if you say you've done this before, they're going to want to know with who, when, and blah, blah, and they will judge you. Venus and Scorpio will very much judge you, so be very careful. Next, Sky Alexander. Sky Alexander says, superficial beauty and art that is purely decorative has little appeal for Venus and Scorpio. Obviously, that's like Venus and Leo. Venus and Leo wants to look good. Venus and Scorpio just wants to bond with you. Venus and Scorpio wants to share with you. They want to share everything. That's the underlying thing. We have. That's the deal. So, and if you break their trust, then it's no longer, the we is gone. You've broken their trust. They gave it to, and you just, you didn't respect it. It's a big deal. Anyways, it says, superficial beauty is not the action for these guys. Instead, you're fascinated by what goes on the deepest level, behind the scenes, so to speak. And regardless of the form of your creativity or your freakiness takes, it will deal with hidden motivations, the dark side of human nature, or the mysteries of the universe. Right. Okay. So then these guys goes and talks about art being intense. Okay, whatever. So no one takes love and relationships more seriously than Venus and Scorpio. You're seeking nothing less than complete merger with a partner, mind, body, and spirit. You are not frivolous with your affection and open your heart to very few. Extremely emotional. You realize how strong your feelings are and how deeply you can be hurt if a love affair doesn't work out. Therefore, you are skeptical and cautious about getting involved. Once you commit yourself in love, however, you do so totally and permanently. You'll take a vow till death do us part seriously and are devoted and romantic and passionate lover. All right, that's cool. You invest so much of yourself in your mate and become so emotionally entwined that you have trouble separating your feelings from your partners. All right, yes or no? Scorpio shares. They're not Libra. Libra, you guys dress the same. Venus in Libra is going to dress the same. Venus in Virgo wants to do things for you, wants to help you. Those are different types of partnerships. Venus in Scorpio is sharing. It's a little different. It seems like they're melding the energies, but not necessarily. Like they're sharing. They're not becoming one. Like it's like they're becoming one because they lose themselves in the moment, but at the end of the day, Scorpio and their partner, and they're, hey, I did this, that's cool. So Venus in Libra, check it, we should dress the same. Oh yeah, you know what you should do? You let me just like cut your thing off so like we both look like we wear the same underwear. Like that's a different kind of thing. And so it's a different kind of vibe. It seems like it because Scorpio wants to bond spiritually and sexually, but at the same time, it's a little bit different. And in the tarot, they're represented by different cards. In the tarot, it's spiritual rebirth, or it's something's happening. The death card's about rebirth. The Sagittarius card is about making things work to becoming one new thing. It's a little bit different. And anyways, your relationships are intense, punctuated by emotional upheavals. No kidding. Either you or your lover are in the throes of a romantic ecstasy and you are clawing at each other's throats. But for Scorpio, that's like a good thing. You thrive on emotional excitement and excess and would be bored in a partnership that's functions smoothly most of the time. If things become too calm and predictable, you might provoke your partner into a dramatic scene just to get your emotional adrenaline flowing. You are the type that believes that love is neither so good, that love is best after a good fight. All right, whatever. Next, power is usually a factor in your relationships, and it can be a heady aphrodisiac. Yeah, Scorpio's sign of power. You enjoy seeing the power you have over your lover and may use it in manipulative ways. Yeah, remember, you guys are control freaks. You may want to be in control of the partnership, and power struggles between you and your mate may be the source of many of your arguments. Often you seem to fall in love with someone who is not right for you, or with someone you cannot have for one reason or the other. There can be a degree of self-frustration and destructiveness in the way you approach love relationships. For one of Scorpio's roles, blah, 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 regardless of how unsuitable or unattainable your love object is, however you refuse to give up and may become obsessed in your pursuit of him, regardless of how unsuitable the relationship, you're going to become obsessed. You may find that you are changed by your relationships in subtle and profound ways, and that every love affair has a deep transformative effect on you. And in case you don't know this yet, in case anybody is, completely blind to the whole major obvious, Venus in Scorpio is attracted to bad boys. You guys got that? Think black, okay, whatever. You guys, whatever bad boy means to you. Okay, Louis Acker and Francis Sacoin. These people can take the romances too personally and too seriously, lacking a light touch and sense of humor. Venus and Scorpio can be uptight because they like to bring you back together. It's like Venus in Cancer. Venus in Cancer is nurturing like this in this direction. Venus in Scorpio they'll bring you home. Because much is given in emotional expression, much is also expected. Do you guys catch that? They're sharing with you. They expect you to share back. We are. Next, Sonny, come down. If the person with this Venus position is jilted or delusion, they can become very jealous, resentful, and bitter, and feel like their trust has been betrayed. Hence, the position, this one, tends towards intense love-hate relationships. If love is abused or mistreated, it can easily turn into hate or cold indifference. Once these people sever an important relationship, it can never be reinstated on the old basis. What is this? Am I reading this guy write for some kind of NFL commercial? Once the people sever an important relationship, it can never be reinstated on the old basis. They will never again allow the person to affect them personally. Touchdown, Scorpio! Whatever. if Venus is afflicted in Scorpio, you know, in a woman's horoscope, she can be the type of femme fatale who uses her sex appeal to gain power over other people and manipulate them. There's also a danger with Venus in Scorpio that the person will want to dominate and subtly control a personal relationship, marriage, or business partnership. And you guys should already know that by now. Like, that should be obvious. Venus in some of the signs are going to use sex as a weapon. Venus in Libra is going to use sex as a weapon. Venus in Scorpio will use sex as a weapon. You guys should know that. Okay, just saying, you guys should know that already. Next, Donna Van Toen says, all right, now we're gonna burn through some. A lot of this stuff's been fairly obvious so far. Donna Van Toen says, what you don't need in a romantic area is a platonic relationship. Oh, like Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio is not a platonic sign. You need an all-or-nothing sort of love. A lover who puts you first. A strong sex drive is probably, and certainly you value sexual attraction and compatibility more than some of the other placings. But this does not mean you'll settle for one-night stands or part-time love. Not at all. If the other person wants you, they better be prepared to be there when you need him, and not just the other way around. This is very much, like I said, they are not one-night stand. They bond sexually. So expect a little bit loosen the zipper, but they're not going to let you go. These are the guys that have sex with you, and then they expect you to get married right away. It says you also need to feel you know your mate's or your lover's innermost secrets, and you should, undoubtedly have several methods at your disposal for finding these out. Yeah, once again, they're gonna stalk you. Venus in Scorpio is gonna stalk you, and they're gonna find out stuff about you. And like I said earlier, they're gonna expect you, because you're Venus, you're gonna attract it. It's rapport, right? They're doing it. They kind of expect you to do it. They're going to expect you to stalk them and just know stuff about you, which obviously you don't, right? It's Venus and Scorpio people a little bit like Venus and Scorpio. Okay. The need for a secure, harmonious, and loving relationship is intensified by the passions of Scorpio. Sexual romance and desire are both fulfilled and seem to be fulfilled. The jealousy of Scorpio will make itself felt from time to time, obviously from time to time through lots, and they can't forgive or forget. Whatever, you should know that. Jane Spiller and Karen McCoy, these guys so Venus and Scorpio, you may have a tendency to use others as a means to fulfilling your desires. Well, all right, insert sign here. As a result, you may experience tension from constantly trying to maintain secret control of those around you, thus being the one who's actually controlled by your fear. Okay, psychobabble. Next, dynamic. You have the aptitude to perceive and encourage the undiscovered abilities of others. Very much so. You can inspire them to use their assets and potentials. When you bring out other people's talents in such a way that you both benefit, you can experience a transformation of your values and material opportunities. Seriously. Next, Lynn Burbick. You're only a couple more, guys, so stick with it. And definitely, if you take a break, make sure you take a break to visit theastroside.com. and check out some of our cool hoodies and mugs that you could be drinking coffee right now and listening to this video. So, Lynn Burbick says, you are an intense, though potentially desperate lover. Whoa, what? Not desperate, but that's what it says. I don't know what the problem is. Love for you is something that has a faded quality about it, created or matched by a deep sense of passion that involves you as if under the influence of some sort of potion. Scorpios do like to get drunk and have sex, I gotta say, But anyways, I don't think that's what she's saying. Often, despite your better judgment, you are drawn down into a dark well of emotional fascination towards some outcome you apparently have no control over unless you resist it from the first. What kind of person is talking about sex as some kind of dark well? All right, with no outcome. Let's continue. You attract with a subtle and compelling charm that draws others to you powerfully and inexplicably. Especially if you're ugly, it's going to be completely inexplicable. All right, enough. With an aura of sexual confidence that, one way or the other, lives up to itself, and with a totally focused and uncompromising attention to other, rather like a snake fixating on its prey. What? I'm going to do my Scorpio snake thing again. Oh, yeah, really attractive. Who wrote this? Lynn Burbeck? Next, you are attracted to powerful types and who are often in need of emotional deepening or transformation. Powerful. Along with yourself, probably. What? Whatever. Let's go see what Robert Hand says. She said some good stuff in here, but she wrote it very poorly. Venus in Scorpio is intense, obviously, and they do look for something. They look for an evolving relationship that moves deeper and deeper and deeper. These guys have problems in relationships because life gets in the way. You gotta like live your life sometimes. Life isn't like all the time. Life is kind of like and so Venus and Scorpio peoples, they thrive on the intensity, and if it gets bored, they get bored. They're gonna shake it up and cause problems. If you don't care, Venus and Scorpio is going to get really upset. They're giving themselves to you. They're sharing. Once again, they're sharing. And if you don't want it, they're going to get really upset. This validates them. And if you don't, it's like a Virgo. Venus and Virgo, if you don't tell them they did a good job every once in a while, if you don't say thank you, Venus and Virgo is going to get upset. It's like Venus and Libra. If you don't dress like them every once in a while, they're going to get upset. Or if you do your own thing all the time, Venus and Libra is going to get upset. Or like Venus and Sagittarius, if you don't laugh at their jokes, they're not going to be happy. So Venus and Scorpio, they're giving themselves to you. Like, give something back. It's Venus, it's rapport. It's not, you have to give each other something. You don't have to take all the time. You have to, like, give back. And so, if you're dating someone or you're in a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio, make sure you're giving something back. And if they're holding out, then you're in a lot of problems because they're no longer doing the rapport thing. They're doing the thing. All right, next. Robert Hand. This is the last one. Your feelings about people are very intense. What's with Scorpio and intensity? They're one of the most predictable signs. You either like them very much or you don't like them. And you will want to have your loved ones near as much as possible. Oh, they're very possessive. Highly jealous. They're the number 2 sign of possessiveness and jealousy in the entire zodiac by far. The number 1 is a little over the chart though. But be careful of the possessive tendency because you may alienate the very people whom you want as friends by not giving them enough freedom while they are around you. On the other hand, you're very faithful to those you like if they are loyal to you. Alright, whatever. Only deep relationships have any meaning for you. As a result, you're likely to have a few very close friendships rather than lots of shallow ones, probably because nobody could stand your ass and you're a bit of a grouch. And like I said, pine cones make shitty toilet paper. You should try a leaf every once in a while, Scorpio. Maybe you're going to feel bad. Okay, next. Friendships you now form may well last the rest of your life. Right, or they better. You're not going to have any friends. You think you're going to have trouble making friends now, Scorpio? Wait till you're a real grouchy old guy. Okay. You find it somewhat difficult to tell someone that you like him or her because you're afraid of being rejected or misunderstood. There we go. Scorpio sensitivity. Someone finally mentions Scorpio sensitivity. Scorpio is one of the most, obviously, emotional signs, but you might not know they're extremely sensitive as well. Yeah, seriously. I don't shave as much as I used to either. It's just saying. Okay. Sonny, stupidness. Okay. It's hard to put your feelings into words because they seem so complicated. And it is true that not everyone will understand you and your feelings. But you will just have to accept that. Only those who you can understand you will make good friends anyways. And those friends will be enough. And that's the action. That's what the experts say about Venus and Scorpio. Let me talk about one more thing here. This here is Scorpio. There's a placement in astrology called the Yod. And it's called the finger of God or the hand of God. And it works like this. This right across is the axis. Everybody cool with this? Just deal with the language. So Taurus is the quote-unquote opposite sign of Scorpio. And they have very similar characteristics. Although they approach life in very different ways. The Yod is formed on both sides of the opposition. So Aries and then Gemini make this Y, and then it goes right into Scorpio. Do you see that? It comes straight down here, then down to Gemini, down to Aries. 1, 2, and then out. You guys cool? Does this make sense to anybody? And This means these are the lessons. These are the two signs that have lessons to teach Scorpio. And they're going to teach the Venus in Scorpio love lessons. And so Aries teaches Scorpio to be more proactive. Scorpio is a fixed sign. They can just sit there and go, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm just going to sit here. Aries encourages Scorpio to be more playful. Aries encourages Scorpio to get on with the action, to be more assertive. Don't let that lover go away. Don't just control it. Go do something with your lover. Don't just be boring. Don't just say you're bored. Don't just sit on your ass and say you're bored. Go do something about it. Aries teaches Scorpio to get off their ass and go do something about it, because we all know Taurus and Scorpio are just going to sit on their ass and go, The difference is Taurus likes sitting on their ass and just going, and Scorpio's like, is this all we doing today? Is this all we doing today? Is this all we doing? Somebody better be getting naked sometime soon, because I'm getting a little bored right here. And so, you guys are starting to understand what the energy in Scorpio is? Then Aries tells Scorpio to get off your ass and go do something. And Gemini says, whoa! Again, Gemini is one that says lots of different stuff. Get creative. Use your brains. Be curious about something. Scorpio thinks they know everything in the universe. Scorpio thinks they know everything and they do everything just because they got some kind of weird kind of Scorpio intuition. Gemini says, don't be like that, Scorpio. Go ask some questions. Don't think you know everything. Get a little curious about life and go figure it out. Don't be like, oh, I know what they look like naked. Be like, hey, why don't you take your clothes off and let's see what you really look like. You see? Scorpio's got a lot to learn from Gemini. So that's the deal. And that's the yod formation in astrology. That's what Aries and Gemini teach Scorpio. And that's the action. I threw that in because some of the guys talking about Venus we're talking about the yod in some of the signs, so I decided to talk to you guys about that. And that's the deal, guys. That's Venus and Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio is a pretty straight up thing. It's not that complicated. The only complicated thing with Venus and Scorpio is that, I don't know, what's the end of the day kind of stuff you need to know. Venus is what you attract, and it's your rapport in lovers. So you want someone to feel sexy. You want to feel mysterious. Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio. You attract. You exude, a dark, mysterious vibe. It's money, other people's money. It's money, power, sexuality, and deep, deep, deep spirituality. It's intensity. It's the Scorpio stare. Are you guys ready? We've been doing this for 40 minutes now. You guys should be ready. Excuse me. Let me drink a little coffee and then we'll hook this up. All right. How do you guys know if you're at a bar? How do you know if that person across from you is a Scorpio or not? They're going to give you the stare. Are you ready for it? Okay, everybody sit back. We're going to do the Scorpio stare right now. Whoa. Focus, recalibrate. Whoa. Did you guys got that? So if you're sitting there and someone walks up to you and they're like this. Mr. Dark and Mysterious walks up to you and they're about to seduce you. You're like, oh my God, that guy's dark and mysterious. I bet his Venus is in Scorpio. You're looking at his pants. If you're looking at somebody's pants, they're probably a Scorpio. So that's not true. That's not true. So if you're looking at someone and you're getting that sexy vibe and they're dark and mysterious and they walk up to you and you're like, oh my God, and you start going like this. Whoa. And they walk up to you and they're about to say, in your mind, you're like, oh my God, here it comes. Mr. Cool is going to lay some vibe on me. And then suddenly they go like this. Congratulations, my friend. You just met a Scorpio. Whoa. That's the action. We did it. Anyways, for those who don't know, I'm a professional astrologer. And if you want your personal horoscopes read or a personal reading, just check it out in the description box below. By all means, please subscribe to the channel. Please go to TheSunnySide.net and check out our, some of the stuff I've written there. And blah, blah, and blah, blah, and blah, blah. I hope everyone has a super amazing day. Please remember, it's always a beautiful day to be beautiful. It's together that makes it a beautiful day. And there is love and money waiting in your astrology chart every single day. It's not like the planet of attraction disappears from the sky. So you just got to know where to look. That's my job. I'm your astrologer. And that's the action. Once again, if you want to tune into some of the live streams or every morning, and if you drop by, please say hi. From TheSunnySide.net, I'm Sonny, wishing everyone the absolute best of a super beautiful day. Be cool, everybody, and I'll see you soon.